I once knew a good man. He worked hard, earned well, and believed he was building freedom. But the more he earned, the less he owned. His schedule was full, his bank account looked strong, yet every hour of his life belonged to someone else. He was a man paid by the market, not a man who owned himself. He thought money would buy him time. Instead, it bought him exhaustion. Every raise demanded more of his life. Every promotion was another chain disguised as success. He kept telling himself it was temporary. Just one more year, just one more goal, until he realized he no longer remembered what freedom even felt like. A year later, he came back different, quieter, certain. The restlessness was gone. I asked what changed. He said, "The market didn't change. I did. I stopped letting price define my value." That sentence never left me, because most of us live where he once was. We trade life for approval. We confuse progress with obedience. We call it ambition, but it's just a prettier word for fear. We work for systems that feed on our attention. We measure our worth in numbers, titles, and symbols of success we no longer control. We let the market decide how much our time is worth, what we should want, and who we should become. Adam Smith saw this coming. He warned that when a society worships price, it forgets what value means. He believed real value isn't in what you can sell, but in what you can command. Your time, your focus, your integrity, your peace. Price is what the world pays you. Value is what you can live with when the world stops paying attention. The market will own you the moment you forget that difference, unless you redefine value. The market doesn't need to take your freedom by force. It only needs to convince you to measure it in money. That's how it begins. You start by chasing a number, a better salary, a bigger bonus, a title that sounds more important when someone asks what you do. It feels like progress, but slowly the number becomes the master, and you become its servant. You stay late because someone else's deadline matters more than your evening. You say yes to work that drains you because it pays a little more. You start justifying your exhaustion, saying, "This is the price of success." But what if that's exactly how the system keeps you trapped, by making the trap feel earned? Adam Smith understood this illusion better than most. In The Wealth of Nations, he explained that there are two kinds of price, the nominal and the real. The nominal price is what you see on paper. The real price is the labor, the time, the life exchanged to get it. He believed every purchase we make is an act of trade between time and existence. Money isn't evil, it's just a mirror. It shows you what you're willing to give up and what you truly value. So here's the question that matters. How much of your life are you willing to sell for what you think you need? Most men never stop to ask it. They earn more but live less. They buy faster but rest slower. They mistake movement for meaning. You cannot win against the market by chasing its rules. You win by changing the score. Stop measuring your life in income. Start measuring it in time, in clarity, in peace of mind. Before you agree to the next promotion, the next overtime, or the next sacrifice, ask yourself one question. Will this buy me more hours of life, or will it sell them away? If it buys your hours back, take it. If it doesn't, walk away. Because a life priced by others will always be cheap. Don't let a number decide your worth. Don't let a price tag label your soul. My value is time. My value is autonomy. If this is your first time here, ThinkMate is where we question what others accept. That's the kind of mind we build this channel for. Subscribe if you want more. Now, back to it. The market doesn't break you by overworking you. It breaks you by making you ordinary. It teaches you to master one narrow task and repeat it perfectly, every day for decades. You become efficient, you become reliable, but you stop being alive. Adam Smith saw this coming centuries ago. In The Wealth of Nations, he described the famous pin factory, 10 men, each performing one small step, producing thousands of pins a day. It was brilliant for productivity and deadly for the soul. Smith warned that if a man spends his life making one nail, he eventually becomes as dull as the metal he shapes. He gains skill but loses thought. He earns a wage but surrenders his mind. That is the true cost of specialization without growth. The market rewards repetition because repetition is easy to replace. The more predictable you are, the less you're worth. And the more the system needs you predictable, the less it needs you human. Maybe you know that feeling already, being excellent at one small thing that doesn't matter anymore. You wake up, perform your part, collect your pay, and feel the silent question in your chest. If I stopped showing up, would anything really change? Smith believed progress should never make a man mechanical. He argued that a moral society must educate its workers not just to do, but to think, to understand what they create and why it matters. Because when a person loses the capacity to think freely, someone else will think for him. The way out of the division trap isn't to reject skill, but to stack it. Learn one thing deeply, then learn something unexpected beside it. Logic and writing, analysis and persuasion, numbers and narrative. The overlap makes you rare, the combination makes you free. Spend one focused hour each day creating something that cannot be automated, a piece of thinking, a tool, a small idea that proves you exist beyond your job. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. The world replaces functions, it does not replace depth. Specialize to operate, stack to escape. And remember, if the market can describe you in one sentence, it can replace you in one click. The market owns you the moment you depend on it to survive. You wake up, you work, you get paid, and before you can breathe, the money leaves. It goes to rent, to interest, to fees, to subscriptions, to the same system that wrote your paycheck in the first place. You think you're earning a living, but you're really just returning the money to its master. You sell your hours to buy what exhaustion took from you. Food delivered because you're too tired to cook. Entertainment because you're too empty to rest. Status symbols because you need proof that it was all worth it. You're not lazy. You're trapped in a loop that rewards motion, not meaning. Adam Smith saw this structure centuries ago. He wrote that every price is made of three parts: wages, profit, and rent. Wages belong to the worker, profit to the owner, rent to those who own the system itself. The tragedy is that most men stop at wages. They live on what others decide to pay, while the profits and rents flow upward, compounding quietly, owning more of the world each year. Smith never despised wage earners. He pitied them. He warned that a man who earns only wages has no leverage. He depends entirely on those who own capital and credit. He called for moral restraint in profit, but also for prudence in the individual. To learn ownership in some form, however small, because when you own nothing, you are forced to sell everything. That is how the market keeps you obedient. It pays you just enough to survive, then sells back your survival at a premium. The only way out is to build your own layer of ownership, something that pays you when you are not working, a skill, a product, an investment, a small creation that carries your mind forward while your body rests. Start small, but start, and cut the rent. Cancel what drains you, negotiate what costs you, refuse to finance the comfort that kills your freedom. Every dollar you keep buys back a minute of your life. Every asset you own buys back a piece of your future. You cannot escape the market by working harder. You escape by owning differently. Don't only sell your hours, own your outcomes. Because a man who earns only wages will always be working for someone else's freedom. The market doesn't just buy your time, it buys your ego. It convinces you that you need to be seen to exist, that the measure of your life is how visible you are to others. So you work harder than ever, not to create, but to be noticed. You dress to signal success. You speak to sound certain. You spend to prove you're winning. And slowly, you start living for an audience that doesn't even care you're there. The market rewards vanity because vanity keeps you consuming. It makes you crave applause instead of peace. It turns self-worth into a product, one that needs to be constantly refilled. Adam Smith saw this sickness long before social media gave it a stage. In The Theory of Moral Sentiments, he told the story of the poor man's son, a young man who sees the rich living in comfort and spends his life chasing that illusion. He works, he climbs, he sacrifices sleep and peace, only to discover that the happiness he envied never existed. By the time he realizes it, his life has already been spent paying for the dream. Smith didn't preach rejection of ambition, he taught balance. He warned that admiration is a dangerous currency. It buys attention but sells contentment. The cure, he said, lies in cultivating an impartial spectator within yourself, a calm witness that asks one question before every choice. Is this truly for me, or is it for the crowd? That question changes everything. Before you buy the thing you don't need, wait 2 days. Before you post the thing you don't mean, wait 1 hour. Before you say yes to something just to be seen, ask if it adds peace or only noise. Status is a drug that trades silence for validation. The first hit feels good. The second feels necessary. The third feels normal. And by the 10th, you can't remember what it was like to live without proving anything. The truth is simple. When status sets your price, you will sell your life cheap. Real value is quiet. It doesn't need to be performed. It can stand alone in a room without applause. Choose substance over signal. Choose meaning over display. Choose to be unseen, but free. I want what remains when no one is watching. Freedom doesn't survive on its own. If you don't build a structure around it, the market will build one for you and rent it back at a cost you can't afford. Most people think freedom is the absence of control. It isn't. Freedom is self-control strong enough to resist everything that tries to rent space in your mind. Adam Smith believed in the invisible hand, the idea that when individuals act in their self-interest, a collective good can emerge. But he also knew that without morality and discipline, that same self-interest becomes chaos. The invisible hand only works when guided by something visible: conscience, restraint, and rules we choose to live by. You need a visible hand for your own life, a personal constitution, a set of principles that no paycheck, no praise, and no pressure can make you betray. Because every day the market tests you. It whispers, take the easy deal even if it's empty. Work with people you don't respect as long as it pays. Trade sleep for one more chance to be seen. And slowly, you break the laws inside you, one compromise at a time. If you don't write your own laws, someone else will write them for you. They'll tell you when to wake up, what to chase, what matters, and what's worth your soul. And you'll follow, believing you're choosing when you're only obeying. So write your constitution. Keep it short but sacred. Decide your rules before the world offers to rewrite them. No work that costs your integrity. No money that costs your peace. No success that steals your time. Then enforce it. Create your own systems of accountability. Build a buffer. 6 months of savings, enough to say no when something insults your principles. Protect your attention like a government protects its borders. You are a nation of one. Rule it well. The invisible hand governs the market. The visible hand must govern you. Because if you don't control your structure, you'll be trapped inside someone else's. Build your visible hand, or be moved by someone else's. Say it to yourself when the world gets loud. I architect my value. I decide my terms. And I will not be governed by a system I didn't choose. The market doesn't just sell you things, it sells you permission. It makes you believe you need to be approved before you can begin, that you need a title before you're qualified, a certificate before you're capable, an audience before you're allowed to speak. That illusion keeps you obedient. You wait to be recognized instead of proving yourself. You collect credentials that expire faster than the courage to use them. You spend years learning to be acceptable when you could have spent them becoming undeniable. Adam Smith warned about this kind of control long before universities and corporations perfected it. He spoke of guilds, exclusive groups that controlled who could practice a trade. They protected their members not through excellence, but through restriction. They made it harder for new people to enter, not to preserve quality, but to preserve hierarchy. Today, the guild is digital. It wears a different face. It's the algorithm that tells you when your work is good enough. It's the platform that decides who deserves to be seen. It's the industry that convinces you that a logo or a brand name will define your worth. But Smith believed the strength of a nation lay in open competition, where skill and merit would rise above titles and privilege. He saw that progress depends on those willing to act before they are allowed to. So stop waiting for permission. Start creating results. Don't sell certificates. Sell outcomes. Show what you can do before anyone asks for proof. Build an outcome portfolio, 3 pieces of work that show transformation, not intention. Before and after speaks louder than 1,000 resumes. When someone doubts you, don't argue, offer to demonstrate. Deliver something measurable. Let the evidence speak. You'll discover something powerful. When you prove your value through results, credentials become irrelevant. The market can't argue with reality. The world respects what works. It forgets what's approved. So remember this. The next time you're tempted to chase another qualification, ask yourself, am I collecting badges or am I building proof? The answer will decide whether you stay a follower or become a force. Because in the end, the market doesn't reward the certified. It rewards the effective. Logos impress. Outcomes price. My proof is my price. The market no longer fights for your money. It fights for your mind. Every app, every feed, every screen is designed to take one thing from you, your attention. Because attention is the new currency, and most people spend it carelessly. You tell yourself you're free because you can choose. But what good is freedom of choice when every choice is engineered to keep you scrolling, comparing, and craving? You have options, yes, but no control. And that isn't freedom, it's captivity disguised as convenience. Adam Smith believed that freedom only works when it's protected from distortion. He warned that the greatest threat to liberty isn't tyranny by law, but manipulation by desire. When someone else decides what you notice, they already decide what you value. That's the invisible tax of the digital age. Your focus becomes their profit. Your distraction becomes their business model. You're not just a user. You're the product refined and resold every time you look down at your screen. Smith valued restraint. He saw prudence as a moral virtue, the ability to govern your impulses, to act not from habit but from intention. He would tell us today that reclaiming attention is the first act of modern freedom. So take it back. Start by creating friction. Remove the shortcuts that make distraction effortless. Check your phone on purpose, not by reflex. 2 windows of time a day, morning and night, and nothing in between. Then guard your deep hours. 90 minutes each day where no one can reach you. No alerts, no notifications, no noise. Let the world shrink until your thoughts can breathe again. Lastly, whitelist your input. Choose a few voices that sharpen you, not 100 that dull you. The mind is a market too. Curate what you allow inside it. Freedom begins the moment you stop renting out your attention, because a distracted man is profitable to everyone but himself. You don't need more options, you need ownership. Guard your attention like money, because it buys every part of your life worth keeping. My attention is sovereign, my time is mine. And no feed, no screen, and no market will ever own it again. The market wants one thing: to decide what your life should mean. It tells you what success looks like, what happiness should feel like, what to want and when to want it. It gives you endless options but no direction, and if you're not careful, it will give you everything except yourself. That's the quiet tragedy of modern life. We confuse movement with progress, consumption with fulfillment, wealth with worth. We wake up in homes we can't afford, work jobs we don't believe in, chasing goals we can't even remember choosing. And when the noise fades, we wonder why it still feels empty. Adam Smith warned about this emptiness long before it had a name. In The Theory of Moral Sentiments, he wrote that true wealth is not in what we own, but in what we can refuse. He saw that a man who cannot restrain desire is no freer than a man in chains. To Smith, the highest form of liberty was not indulgence, it was mastery, the ability to live by principle, not by appetite. He called this prudence and virtue, the moral foundation that keeps a man sovereign over his own life. Without it, society becomes a machine of endless craving, and the man without virtue becomes a commodity, priced, marketed, consumed. So how do you take back sovereignty in a world built to sell it? You start by redefining value. First, awareness. Name the traps that own you, the extra hours you trade for approval, the purchases that buy admiration but drain peace, the habits that fill your time but empty your life. You can't break what you refuse to see. Second, capacity. Build independence through skill and ownership. Learn something that compounds. Create something that outlives a paycheck. A sovereign man owns his craft before he owns his comfort. Third, discipline. Choose 5 things that are never for sale: your sleep, your health, your relationships, your integrity, and your peace. These are your moral assets. Protect them like currency. And last, purpose. Write one clear sentence for your life: why you're here, what you serve, and who you refuse to become. Then measure every decision against that line. If it doesn't serve the purpose, it doesn't deserve your time. Because when your life aligns with its telos, with its end, its aim, its reason, the market loses its leverage. It can tempt you, but it cannot own you. That is value sovereignty. It isn't rebellion, it's order. It's living by your design, not by the design that sells best. Redefine value, and you become unownable. No trend can define you. No market can price you. No system can claim you. I am unownable. I know what I serve. And that is the only wealth that lasts. The market will always try to own you. It will promise freedom through consumption, meaning through productivity, and identity through approval. It will tell you that life is a transaction, and your worth is whatever someone is willing to pay. But now you know better. You've seen how the system works. It owns you first through price, when you mistake numbers for worth. Then through repetition, when you become replaceable. Through wages, when you sell all your time for someone else's profit. And through status, when you spend your peace to buy admiration. That is how the market builds obedience, quietly, efficiently, permanently. But there is another path. You build your visible hand, a personal constitution that no one can rewrite. You stop chasing titles and start delivering outcomes. You take back your attention because every second of focus is an act of ownership. And finally, you reclaim your sovereignty. You place your purpose above every price tag the world can offer. That is how you redefine value, not in theory, in practice, in the choices you make when no one is watching. Remember what Adam Smith understood so long ago. Wealth without virtue is decay disguised as progress. Value without meaning is slavery with better lighting. So ask yourself tonight, what still owns you? Whose profit does your exhaustion feed? And what would your life look like if you stopped selling yourself by the hour? The answer will not be comfortable, but it will be honest. You are not a product. You are not for sale. You define value. Say it once and keep it: I redefine value. If this made you see the world a little clearer, stay, think deeper. This is ThinkMate.